What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So first, let's start off with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So shouts out to Bose. She celebrated New Year's in Ghana, and it was um, live streamed on CNN. So I wanted to read her post, and it said this: "We made history on the very first day of 2025. For the first time ever, Ghana's New Year's Eve celebration was broadcasted globally on CNN, joining the ranks of the world's most iconic countdowns. I can hardly put into words the overwhelming emotion of this moment. Gratitude fills my heart as I reflect on the journey that brought us here. When I created at Black Gold, my dream was to elevate Ghana's New Year's Eve experience, to blend cultural significance with luxury, crafting unforgettable moments through a curated dinner, party, and fireworks display in space that matters deeply in our identity. This year we celebrated at the, I think it's Kiema, ooh, Narakim. Ooh, I'm so sorry because I know I'm butchering this, Memorial Park, a site that symbolizes the resilience, freedom, and possibilities. This celebration carried a profound personal meaning. Our dreams are never too big, but sometimes they're not big enough. So, my prayer for you in 2025 is that God will astonish you with his limitless greatness in your life. May you stand in awe of what unfolds for you this year. This moment in my testimony, I am in wonder, and I pray you all will be too. Thank you to at Bravo Andy Cohen for this history making opportunity, to my incredible family and friends who celebrated this milestone with me. Thank you from the depths of my heart to the amazing partners at sorted.shell, led by I think it's Vieto Angulo, and the like Mick Coffee. Thank you for making history with me. And to my dear sister and collaborator at Queen Nadine underscore 5B, 8 years of working to connect the diaspora part to Ghana, culminating in this extraordinary moment. We did it. So, shouts out to Bose and Andy. I think this was wonderful. The clip I saw actually made me smile, and it came in right on time because I had just finished reading about what happened in New Orleans, in Honolulu, and the situation that is still, I guess, being investigated in Las Vegas. And I was about to get real down, and then I also read about what happened in South Korea. But then I saw this and it actually made me smile. So I just wanted to highlight it. I do want to give my condolences to those who are affected by all the things that I just said, in New Orleans, South Korea, Honolulu, and Las Vegas, But seeing this and seeing Bose and her family celebrating, and also reading the caption and finding out that this is like the first time that this has been broadcast, it made me smile. So, congratulations to her. I'm glad that Andy helped her broadcast this, which lets me know that Bose is probably sticking around for a long time with the network until she feels like this no longer serves her, which I think is great because she does seem to be a force to be reckoned with, and I do like that about her personality. But I do hope everybody did enjoy their New Year's. I know I fell asleep. I fell asleep, but Happy New Year's. So, continuing with Beverly Hills, this was posted yesterday, and I feel like I talked about this before about Mauricio and this PP loan situation and him being sued, but this was posted by Jay's reality blog, and it says this: In Touch reports that Mauricio Umansky and his real estate company are being accused of stealing over $3.5 million from taxpayers and improperly using those funds for PPP loans. The lawsuit was filed in July of 2023 and is still ongoing. And I do remember reading about this, but I guess now the blogs are picking it up. So let me read the article for you guys. And y'all know in the description box below, there will be a link to the article. So it says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards' husband, Mauricio Umansky, and his real estate company were accused of stealing over $3.5 million from American taxpayers and improperly using those funds as a part of a lawsuit over PPP loans, and InTouch Weekly can exclusively report. According to court documents obtained by InTouch, the company's Realtor LLC fired back at Mauricio, 54, and his company, the agency, attempt to dismiss the federal lawsuit filed over payroll protection loans, PPP, obtained during the pandemic. As InTouch first reported, Realtor LLC claimed that Mauricio and his business partners obtained millions in PPP loans that the agency did not need. A lawyer from Realtor LLC wrote, "This is a case about greed during the national health emergency." Mauricio and the agency denied all allegations of wrongdoing. Now Realtors fires back at Mauricio and demands the case move forward. The company stated that the defendant stole over $3.5 million from American taxpayers and improperly used those funds. So I don't want to read the entire article. So again, the link for the entire article will be in the description box below if you would like to read it for yourself. The rest of the article is going back and forth with the legal jargon. And like I said, I read about this before. It's told to summarize pretty much. Mauricio is being accused, him and the agency are being accused of using PPP loans when they didn't need it during the pandemic. They are saying that the agency made over, I think it was $12.5 billion in like sales. They made like $6 billion during 2020, and then during 2021, $6.5 billion in sales. So the Realtor LLC is basically saying there was no need for them to ask for this like paycheck protection for their employees when they made this much money. And so Mauricio and his agency is like, that didn't happen. Like, we operate in integrity. And this complaint that the Realtor LLC is bringing up against us, there's no merit in it. It's just like accusations. And so right now they're arguing back and forth to see it, like, you know, if this is going to get picked up by the courts. But the Realtor LLC's lawyer is pretty much saying that Mauricio and the agency's lawyers are saying that they did what they did, but we just didn't catch it in time. So they're saying that we don't have enough to accuse them of fraud, even though they're not actually denying that they committed fraud. And the agency is pretty much saying we didn't commit fraud and we don't really work with you guys, so y'all don't really have any like factual proof to bring this complaint against us. Now, I don't know if it's going to get picked up in court or if it's going to go to court or if they're going to find a way to settle, but I don't see Mauricio facing any jail time. If he has that much money, they'll probably just make him pay a fine if he does get, you know, convicted of like scamming. I don't think his business is going to really suffer, to be honest. Like, they're in Beverly Hills. Scandals happen every day out there. But I do think it's interesting that now the blogs are picking this up, because like the article said, this was filed back in July of 2023. And I do remember doing a video on it. If I can find the thumbnail, I'll put it on screen so you can go check it out. It'll probably be in the drama playlist. But let's move on. So let's talk about Real Housewives in New Jersey. So the last time I talked about them, it was about Dolores. And she was talking about how she was upset. She did an interview with People magazine about being upset that the ladies couldn't come together. Well, Teresa was on All About the Truth's podcast. I have referenced them before, especially when I talk about New Jersey, because it seems like they always have the latest tea, kind of similar to Mary Crosby's fan page. They are always talking about what's going down in, you know, Salt Lake City. This page always talks about what's going down in New Jersey. Well, they did an interview with Teresa, and they asked Teresa about her feelings about what Dolores said, and I wanted to play what she said. So here we go.
Dolores recently came out. She said that she's a little mad that everybody couldn't get it together for season 15. And she said that she did a lot of things to kind of mend it, and nothing helped. And no one wanted to resolve things. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. Well, I mean, listen, the last 4 years, everyone's been making a paycheck about talking about my husband, which I think was so wrong. Yeah. So everyone got paid the last 4 years about talking about my husband. So I remember when Dolores was questioned about, her relationship, she didn't like that so much. So imagine, you always have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. So I know she's not talking about me. I know she's definitely not talking about me, because I know what happened to me. If it was done to her, she would not like that at all. Like, and I'm sure Paulie wouldn't like it. Like, yeah, I mean, not too many people, I don't even think would even last after what happened. Yeah, I mean,
if someone was talking to Polly's ex-wife, like let's say one of you guys were talking to Polly's ex-wife.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Dolores she would like lose her shit.
Yeah.
She would lose her shit. So that's the thing. So I know she's definitely not talking about me. So that's all I have to say. But, everyone, again, you're welcome. The past 4 years talking about my husband, and, and they all got paid, basically. Yeah. I mean, like trashing my husband, trying to get to me.
So that was Teresa's response to Dolores. What I will say is I do agree with Teresa in the regards of the way that the cast was coming at Louis. If the roles were reversed and they were coming at Paulie the same way, Dolores would be pissed. And I do understand when one of the co-host was like, well, how would they feel if they were trying to reach out to Paulie's ex-wife the same way that the ex-wives of Louis were reaching out to the cast? Like, it would have been up and stuck with Dolores. But where I disagree is her acting like for the past 4 seasons, everybody was coming at her relationship with her boyfriend. We just officially met Louis season 12, and everyone seemed to be cool with him until like the end of season 12. The end of season 12, when we got to the reunion, everything shifted, okay? So I would say season 13 and 14 is really when it was like everybody didn't want Louis to be around. So to say that people were coming at your boyfriend for 4 years is kind of weird to me. But I do stand by what I said. I know some of y'all disagree, and that's cool. Y'all respectfully disagree, and I appreciate that. But I do believe that Real Housewives of New Jersey can survive without Teresa. The same way that Atlanta survived without Nene. When Bethany left, New York still survived. When Tamra and Vicky got kicked off of OC, it still survived. When LVP and Brandy and Kim Richard all left, Beverly Hills still survived. I think we have to get away from this notion that if that one specific person isn't there, then the show flops. Now, we've seen that happen sometimes, but that's not always the case. Normally, the show either gets better or it finds its footing and it creates a new fan base and it continues. So that's just my thoughts. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, because girl, Simon is still trying to get Portia out of his house. So this was posted by Jay's reality blog, and I'll put the link in the description box below. But it says this: In Touch reports Simon Guobadia is asking a judge to rescind Portia Williams being able to film RHOA at his mansion they once shared. Simon's lawyers say Simon files this motion to vacate order of filming in marital residence and is seeking to have the court vacate its November 19th, 2024, my bad, you guys, 2024 order, because the court failed to conduct a hearing as it had previously indicated it would on the issue. The court did not receive any evidence to support its ruling and equate demand that this court vacate the order. So again, the link to this article will be in the description box below. All I'm going to say is, again, 2 scammers scamming together. All I know is Portia out-scammed Simon, and I don't think he was prepared for that. I don't think any of us were prepared for her to be able to do that, because I totally understand why he wants her out of that home, because I still think he is paying the rent on it or the mortgage on it. He's also doing the maintenance for the house, and it was his home. He bought that home before they got together. So I get why he's like, oh, she got to go. But I don't know if she's going to have to leave that home. Honestly, if I was her, I would have moved out. I genuinely don't understand when people want to like keep homes that aren't theirs. Like the whole Drea situation with that NFL player. Like I would have moved. Like the house don't matter that much to me, and there's probably a better house with better energy that I can move into. Same with Portia. Like the house is nice. You can find a like a realtor video online of the house. That's where I saw what the house looks like because they were advertising it. And it's nice, but I bet you she has enough money to find a house that's similar to it or better. Like I wouldn't be staying in it just to argue about it and going back and forth to court. But that's just me. So, continuing with Real Housewives of Atlanta, this was posted yesterday. I'm not sure who posted, whether this was Shamia, Drew, or Angela, but the RHOA Talk posted this on Twitter, and it says this: Drew and Shamia hanging with newbie Angela during season 16 of filming, hashtag RHOA. Now, I wonder if this was... So this was during filming, because I was about to say, was this during filming? Because some people were like, oh my gosh, Shamia and Drew made up. But we don't know if that happened, because the last time we saw all of them filming, it was a event that was being hosted by Angela. And it was like that fundraiser situation, and that guy came out like spraying her with rumors or tea that he had on her. But I was actually surprised to see Drew and Shamia hanging out because, they got beef. But I wonder if they were able to reconcile before the end of the season, and maybe they'll pick up the beef as the show premieres for season 16. But I thought it was interesting that they were hanging out. Angela is tall as hell though. So let's get into the Mia of it all, because girl, we sick of you. We are sick of you in this pimped village, Mia. Gosh. So on New Year's Eve, Mia posted a picture of her and Gordon together, and it was captioned with this: New Year, new beginnings. Cheers to living a life to the foolish. Hashtag mom and dad. Hashtag New Year's Eve 2025. Now, that was posted like around... I want to say like maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So everybody was like, girl, what is this? Like, are they back together? Are they just co-parenting? Like, what is Mia doing? Because what is this? Okay. And then the Bravo Shade Room, like around like 2 o'clock, posted this where they said stunt 99 or stunt number 99. Mia and her boyfriend Incognito has unfollowed each other on social media. Hashtag RHOP. So I guess people got the digging and found out that Ink and Mia don't follow each other. Mind you, I didn't even know his name was Incognito. I thought it was just Ink. And I said, Mia, this is why you don't make your tagline about your boyfriend. Because I think her tagline was like, marriage may be temporary or can be temporary, but Ink is permanent. And I said, girl, I guess not. So then around like 8 p.m., like 8:30 p.m. on New Year's Eve, Mia supposedly gave out a statement to the Shade Room, which I'm like, who is releasing statements from the Shade Room? I stopped following them years ago. Confirming her breakup with Ink. And she said this: Ink is my best friend and perfect in so many ways, but I have decided to focus on my children and maintaining a healthy co-parenting relationship with their father. I said, Mia, what? Girl, Mia, what are you doing? Like, legit, what are you doing? It's a pattern with Mia. Mia does this every single season, and it's annoying. First of all, girl, before I get on describing why I said this is a pattern, why would you play yourself this badly? Why would you make this whole entire season about your issues with Gordon, how he's unstable, he's manic every 25 seconds, and how Ink is the only constant and the only man in your life, to just break up with him and then repost this picture of you and Gordon? When honestly, girl, you don't have to post everything. Some things you got to keep to your chest. Not everything needs to be televised, and you then wonder why the girls criticize you and why the fans criticize you, and then you get mad when people are like, you're only posting the positive stuff. It's because we know the crap that's in your closet. And also, you don't have to post all the time. So the pattern that I'm talking about is Mia always has like this crazy, salacious, like over the top storyline, but then by the end of the season it goes away and then she starts a new one. When she started season 7, it was the whole like, maybe she has cancer, maybe she doesn't. That's how season 7 opened up. And then throughout the season she was beefing on again, off again with Jacqueline on Twitter, and then we ended it with her and Gordon getting kicked out of the company, pretty much. So then when we opened up season 8, it was all about them getting kicked out of the company and trying to figure out how to regroup and revamp and get back to who they are. And then she was detailing how she was having issues with Gordon and they were struggling and how she thought about divorcing him. And then by the end of the season, she's filing for separation. And then all of a sudden it's Gordon letting us know that he don't think Jeremiah might possibly be his son. And then Mia been having an affair for 10 years with Ink. So then we open up season 9 with the continuation with the affair and Gordon and Ink. And it's like she does this every year. And then by the end of the season, I bet you her and Gordon are probably going to be somewhat okay to a certain extent, and then her and Ink gonna possibly have issues, or she's gonna be talking about Ink pulling away from her, because it definitely feels like Ink is the one that decided he no longer wanted to be in a relationship with Mia, based off of the way that she gave that statement to the Shade Room, talking about Ink is perfect in all these other ways. It's given that man got tired of being in this circus and decided, I'm not getting what I thought I was gonna get out of this relationship. I really think that Ink thought that there would be a resurgence in his career. I don't know how long he's been a radio DJ, but I do think he thought by being attached to Mia, it would bring him some type of fame, because I was actually surprised to see him on the stage at Bravo's Fan Fest when I think they had like a RHOP panel, and it was Wendy and Eddie was sitting behind Wendy, and then Ink was sitting beside Eddie and behind Mia. So I think he thought something was going to happen for him, but it didn't. I definitely won't be surprised if Mia isn't axed back for season 10. And if she is axed back, I won't be surprised by that. I definitely feel like with all the talk about Karen's position being in limbo, that I believe that Mia has more of a chance of losing her spot before Karen, to be honest. At least what Karen is going through is concrete and it's factual, versus Mia, who just constantly is giving us stunts and shows. So let's move over to Salt Lake City and let's talk about Brittany. I really think Brittany is coming back, and if she doesn't come back, she was fun while it lasted, okay? So first up is this excerpt that was going around on Monday where Brittany low-key, high-key ate Bronwyn up. And I said, girl, if you could keep this same energy with the girls on the show, then you would be a fave of a lot of people. So she was getting interviewed by a publication that interviews people that have been on Broadway. And shouts out to this user on Bravo Snark side by the name of Michael, or I think it's Michael Fearhand. Y'all know me and names, bro. Horrible. I'm horrible with him. But he said this in Bravo Snark Side's comments after they posted the excerpt that was kind of going viral on Twitter. But he said this: I feel like there needs to be more context to this. The episode of RHOSLC's after show talking about Brittany on Broadway was harsh. They made it sound like she could barely do community theater when she has done national tours. She had every right to defend herself, and I'm happy she did that. So this is basically what Brittany had to say when asked about this. The person said, I love having you on as a new addition on the show. You joined along with Bronwyn Newport. Bronwyn recently claimed that you weren't on Broadway, and Whitney Rose was asking if you were marrying into it with the whole Osmond connection. Do you have a response to that? So Brittany went on to say this: I think Bronwyn wishes that I hadn't done Broadway because that lends herself more credibility. She has a tendency to just lead with lies and say whatever anyone wants to hear who's in front of her. She claims now that she contributes to Broadway shows as a producer. I think that she wishes she had my talent because anyone can spend their sugar daddy's money on Broadway shows. What can she do is what she can't do is what I do and be on stage. And I said, you know what, Brittany, talk your shit. I said, talk it, girl. Because as annoying as Brittany is, I've heard Brittany sing. She does have a voice for Broadway. I think people were reposting her clips of when she was playing Ariel, and she sounded beautifully. So, girl. And I do agree when she said, what part? She said she has a tendency to just lead with lies and say whatever anyone wants to hear who's in front of her. I don't know if Bronwyn leads with lies, but I do agree that Bronwyn will shapeshift into what she believes is palatable if she really wants the person to like her. And I said, you know what, Brittany? Do you? But I think if Brittany could keep this same energy on the show, the girls would go up for her. But Brittany be getting clocked left and right when the ladies come for her. But I agree with the commenter who said they were talking down on her, so I think she has every right to defend herself. And I did go and look at the clip. They were really trashing that lady. So I'm glad she did speak up for herself because she is talented in that regard. All right, y'all. So let's move over to Brittany trying to start a feud with Lisa over this Kerastase partnership, which I find hilarious. Okay. So pretty much, I told y'all this in the last Spicy Corner that Lisa had a partnership with Kerastase, and I'll play the clip for you guys. And she's promoting it. She promoted like several different products.
With Kerastase to bring you the best sleek, shiny hair for the holidays. Every stocking should have a product from Kerastase in it. One of my favorites is Thermique. It's the nectar. It's great if you live in a dry.
So the clip is a lot longer, but I just wanted to show y'all that Lisa did have a partnership with Kerastase, and that was posted right before I did my review for the last episode that was aired for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City before we went into the new year. Well, I guess Brittany felt some type of way because she's like, girl, I'm the one who was made the butt of the joke. But then, like a lot of people said in the comments, well, Lisa is the one that recommended that you need to get a Kerastase Thermique treatment. So maybe that's why she got the partnership. So Brittany is a little upset by that. She ended up doing a TikTok, I guess, trying to playfully vent out her frustrations. Now, I'm not sure I don't know how real I want to, like, how much energy I want to expend to this, in the sense of, I don't know if Brittany is playing, because then I see another TikTok where she's like, guys, don't tell me that, but she was doing it jokingly. So I don't know if her and Lisa are in on the bit or if this is their way of marketing the products. But she posted this to TikTok where it says, someone stole my Kerastase partnership, not naming names. But then when you look at the hashtags, Lisa Barlow is in the hashtag. So let me play that video for you guys.
Don't start wishing only wounds the heart. I wasn't born. Oh wait, this is for extensions. Oh, for the rose and pearls. There's a girl I know. They love her so. I'm not that girl.
Like, I don't know if she's being serious or if she's playing. Like, Brittany is such an unserious person that she could very well be very upset about not getting this partnership. And this is her way of combating it. But I find this hilarious. And even with the way that she's singing the song, you can definitely tell that she gives Broadway. Like the way she was like, oh my gosh, this is for extension. It's giving Disney princess, okay? She's giving unhinged Disney princess, all right? And I'm just like, Brittany, what are we doing here? Even in the actual like TikTok, she's drinking Wendy's, and we know that Lisa got a partnership with Wendy's. And I'm just like, who you're mad at, it doesn't make sense, because like someone said in the comments on TikTok, girl, and I'll play that video for you guys, Lisa didn't steal anything from you. Kerastase picked Lisa to do the partnership with. So nothing was stolen from you, Brittany. But let me play that video.
No, don't tell me that. That's just pouring salt in my wound. Kerastase.
So even with this video, I don't know how serious she's being, because this gives me sarcastic. Like, she's not stupid. She knows that. So I don't know. But then I'm also going back to like thinking, well, Lisa is the one that said, you need a Kerastase Thermique. Like, don't let her see that you're upset, but you really do need a Kerastase Thermique. However you say that, miss. I'm just like, Brittany, I don't know. I don't know. She's just so unhinged and unserious. I told you, a delusional Disney princess. So the last thing we're going to talk about is Real Housewives of Dubai. So it looks like Miss Caroline Brooks was giving all the girls the tea about what was going on with the show and basically confirming that the show was actually canceled, that it wasn't put on pause. So on actually New Year's Day, she was responding to a post that was posted by OMFG Reality TV, which was a Dateline article explaining the reason for the show to be put on pause, where Caroline Brooks basically decided, you know what, I'm gonna just tell the truth, and that's just what it is. So she said this: we were told you guys are not being picked up for a third season. I'm really sorry because I feel like you guys deserve one. Thank you so much for 2 great seasons, ladies. Wish you all the best of luck, etc. This is what hashtag RHODubai was told. Unfortunately, Happy New Year. So Caroline Brooks is like, girl, we wasn't put on pause. It doesn't seem like we're coming back. They basically told us, thank you for your services, best wishes, best luck on all your other endeavors. So then it continued, because now people are like, girl, what do you mean? So they started asking Caroline Brooks questions. So this person with the name Too Blessed to Be Stressed said, Dubai is canceled, but they shoving RHONY down our throats. Fix it, Jesus. So then Brooks responded by saying, I have thoughts on this. RHONY is a staple in the Real Housewives franchise. New York helped put housewives on the map and remains essential for its relatability, even if it's not everyone's favorite. So then another person by the name of Cowboy Meller said, Atlanta is what put housewives on the map. RHONY is what put the white franchises on the map, like Beverly Hills. Even though OC came out first, it still wasn't popping until Atlanta came in and changed the game and brought light to the housewife franchises. And Caroline Brooks responded by saying, agree. I also agree with Cowboy Miller, because I do feel like Atlanta really put housewives on the map. I feel like nobody was pulling numbers like Atlanta. Those ladies were getting over like 5 and like 4 million views every Sunday. Like Atlanta was really what made Bravo pop the way that it did. And then New York came and helped. I think New York was out before Atlanta, but I feel like once Atlanta popped, that's when people started to pay attention to all the other franchises, such as OC, Beverly Hills, and New York and New Jersey. So I agree with that statement. So then another user asked, do you think the silly Ayan versus Lisa beef contributed to the show getting canceled? And Brooks responded by saying, no way, the drama and the beef are why people tune into the reality show meant to entertain. Fans just weren't watching. Editing removes anything that could risk the show most of the time. They protected the show. What you see is what you want to see. What you see is what they want you to see. Don't forget that. And then the person responds by saying, thank you for the reply. To me, the beef was off-putting and didn't land with the audience. The reason for their fallout made no sense. I wish they focused more on your drama with Talene. That feud was great TV. I feel if you guys had a stellar finale, you might have been rewarded. So I disagree with this person, because I do think they had a good finale. It was the typical Real Housewives finale where we could have had a season 3. I also think that the beef between Ayan and Lisa made sense, because Lisa had an issue with Ayan being close to Stanberry, and Ayan saw more value in her relationship with Stanberry than Lisa. That's common housewife, like 101 type of drama on the show. I just feel like the network really didn't know what to do with this show, even though I think if anything, they just should have put it on Peacock and let it marinate there and grow a following the same way they allowed Miami to do so. But I definitely feel like they could have had another season. So another user by the name of Creonta. Now, Creonta and Brooks, I used to see oftentimes talking in spaces. So they posted a gif of the Portia gif where they're like, who said that? Who said that? And so Brooks responded by saying, on a group call with the cast, some of us graciously thank them for the opportunity while others stay silent in disbelief. The delusion is real. Some think that the show will return, but it was clearly stated this was our last season. Hashtag RHODubai. So then their conversation continued. with them saying, and now the streets are saying they're making Real Housewives of London with Stansbury. So then Caroline Brooks responded by saying, really, London is such a great city. Have you been? You love it. And then the person responded by saying, I heard it always rains there, but Spain is where I want to go first. Now, I would be surprised if I saw Stanberry on Real Housewives of London, mainly because she moved from London to Dubai, and they basically presented Real Housewives of Dubai to be centered around her, and I don't see her running back to London unless it's for the off seasons, because they did tell us that Dubai gets so immensely hot that everyone plans, especially if they're not like native to that area, to be out of the country in cooler climates. But I don't see Stanberry doing that. I would be shocked though. So let's move over to All True Tea's page, because they also caught a few of Caroline Brooks's tweets. So this is what she posted, I think actually on New Year's Eve or maybe New Year's Day. But she said this: Happy New Year's. Wish you all happiness and good health. I know a lot of my former castmates are struggling to stay relevant after #RHODubai was canceled. If you're true fans, please be sure to keep making them feel famous. I'm loving my private, quiet life. So then they also caught this statement where Caroline said, honestly, I'm not upset that the show was canceled or paused, whatever term you prefer. It felt toxic, overly orchestrated, and many were hiding their true identities. Housewives should be authentic, not forced. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but not the experience. #RHODubai. Then a person by the name of Southern Bella said, there's rumors that you guys were paused because of the laws in Dubai. Would you come back for another season? So Brooks responded by saying, the rumors are not true. Every episode is approved by lawyers or officials to ensure it's appropriate for TV in this region. If they thought laws were broken, the Dubai Film and TV Commission would have revoked our permits, and that didn't happen. Don't believe everything you read. I'm actually glad she brought up the Dubai Film and TV Commission, because that's something that everyone always brings up, how the laws over there affect what you see on TV. And I was always wondering, like, what part do they play? But I do think that's a big thing, that they have to review the footage in the episodes to make sure that it's appropriate for TV and they're not disrespecting or violating any laws. That could have contributed to why it took them so long to give us season 2. Like, waiting 2 years after season 1 to give us season 2 is crazy, but I feel like you get more of a chance to do that type of stuff when you're on streaming platforms, because now Young, Famous, and African is coming back, and Bling Empire Dubai is coming back, and I feel like people are more willing to wait when it's a streaming reality show, because you can sit down and just binge watch everything versus having to wait for it to come out on TV episode by episode, week by week. And that can get old very quickly. So another person responded by the name of the Bait Vault saying, I'm not sure why they canceled you all. You all showcase friendships, big rich money, and it was so refreshing and interesting, SMH. So then Brooks responded by saying, I agree about showcasing our luxury lifestyle. I wish they showed more of our work lives for those of us who actually worked. As for friendships, the cast wasn't really friends. Some bonds developed through the show, but it was a tough journey. And I think what she means by that is, we know Lisa and Ayan were friends. Brooks had a relationship with Lisa and Ayan, but she wasn't really that close to them. It seems like Brooks and Stanberry became friends. We know Talene and Brooks were friends before the show. And then Sarah ended up becoming friends with most of the girls in the group, but they didn't know her before the show. I think when Nina was on the show, she was pretty much the glue, because she had a relationship with everybody except Ayan. But then once she left, it was kind of like they were trying to make Stanberry the glue, but she really couldn't be the glue, because that's just not in her personality. But it seems like Lisa and Brooks were able to bond and form a friendship after everything broke down between Ayan and Lisa. So then there was a user that responded to the tweet that was between Creonta and Caroline Brooks. This user by the name of Paul Senzo, he ended up saying, for some reason, you seem bitter. So then Caroline responded by saying, quite the opposite. Actually, I'm relieved they pumped the brakes because it just didn't feel right. Pulling the plug was the best decision. Too many things happened that shouldn't have been overlooked. Everyone is entitled to feel however they want. This is how I'm feeling. I don't think Brooks is giving bitter. And I know people don't like Brooks. I like Brooks, but I understand that her personality is very off-putting to some people. But I don't think she's giving bitter. I just think she's, just talking about her experience. And people have questions and want to know, like, why the show isn't coming back. And she's giving clarity because the network's not trying to give anybody clarity. Now, in that regard, she could be deemed unprofessional. But, like, if she doesn't want to go back to the show, like she says she's been enjoying her private life and she's glad that the show got canceled, then she's allowed to speak about how she feels. And I did hear online that there was stuff happening behind the scenes and that was causing more rifts between the ladies. So maybe that's more of the reason why she's happy that the show is no longer running, because it was getting too toxic in that regard. So I thought I was done with Brooks and her tweets, and then as I was editing the video, I go on Instagram and I see that Talene has responded to Brooks' tweets that she posted yesterday on New Year's Day. So let's get into those tweets. So it starts off with Talene adding Brooks under one of her posts by saying, "Add Caroline Brooks. The show wasn't canceled. You were. Hashtag RHODubai." So then Brooks responded back to Talene by saying, "Talene, the show was pulled. You and whoever else are delusional. We were on the phone with Truly and told it's unfortunate that there won't be a season 3. I know some of you are fighting for your lives to impress producers, so you have another chance, but hang it up. Hashtag RHODubai." She then goes on to say, "Truly let us all know on the same call that the show wasn't coming back for the 3rd season. Like I said, some were in disbelief. I wasn't shocked because I heard it from someone at NBC prior." At Talene, and then she did her whole ad name. "So desperate for a little fame that you can't accept it. Hashtag RHODubai." So here's my thing. I don't know why Talene felt the need to hop in Brooks's mentions or her replies, because Brooks didn't add anybody on Twitter. Was she being shady? Yes. But if she didn't add you, what was the point of outing yourself as being one of the delusional people that she said was sitting there in disbelief, when we already kind of knew that maybe Ayan was one of them? But it's like, Talene, girl, when Bravo puts something on pause, it normally means that it's canceled. Look at Family Karma, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Shahs of Sunset, Married to Medicine Houston and LA, Real Housewives of Dallas, Real Housewives of DC. Like, when they put it on pause, it means that it's canceled. And or it could mean that you're on pause for like 5 or 6 years, like Real Housewives of Miami. So you might as well go on with your life because it doesn't exist until they feel the need to pick the show back up. But maybe Talene feels like Brooks is the one that got canceled, because I just saw on All True T's page that they posted a video because Kenya's out there in Dubai and she was filming, or not really filming, but taking pictures with Stanberry, Talene, and Ayan. I don't know, but I just didn't understand why Talene felt the need to hop in that lady's mentions, knowing good and well that Brooks has no problem arguing back and forth with anybody. And I actually really believe Brooks is telling the truth, because she's been talking about the show being canceled since November. And it sounds so weird saying dating back to November, because that's what I was about to say, because we are only 2 days into the new year, but that's just weird. But she quote tweeted this page called Always Unscripted, and they posted this on November the 14th, 2024. And they said, according to Lisa Milan, the Real Housewives cast of Dubai was 100% expecting to be renewed for season 3, meaning they were just as shocked as fans when Bravo put the show on pause. So then Brooks quote tweeted them by saying, maybe at Lisa Milan meant the rest of the cast, but I certainly informed her it wasn't returning for a third season prior to the cast being told as a whole. I also told Ayan months ago, right after Lisa, I understand why the rest of the cast hoped otherwise, but I knew #RHODubai. So then Caroline Brooks goes on as she speaks to somebody who responded to that tweet at Mail Online. This is just for clarification about this, about the cast knowledge. And then she put in parentheses, mine. Nothing against Lisa. I love her. In fact, I heard to Lisa and Ayan before the show even aired season 2 back in June. They can verify that this information leaked to me ages ago. She continues by saying, and I have receipts, just saying, this is why I was blown away by Ayan and Talene debunking rumors and calling for shakeups and things like that. I get being hopeful and wishing for a different outcome, but I 100% was not expecting to be renewed. #RHODubai. So I believe her, and I'm actually surprised that Talene waited until January to respond to something that she said in November. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But like I've been saying, I think that they should just put Dubai on Peacock and let it garner a fan base there. But if they don't want to renew the show anymore, then it had a decent run for 2 seasons. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. And as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below. Subscribe if you like what you heard. And give me a thumbs up if you like what you heard. And I'm out, y'all. And Happy New Year. All right? Deuces.